hashtags, time to post. None of that stuff matters. Like that's your answer to that. It does not matter. Like you could have 50 hashtags that are perfect. You could post at the perfect time, but if the content sucks, that doesn't work. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the walkthrough, the most underrated, valuable marketing show in real estate and podcast history. I am Eric Simon, aka the Broke Agent, and I am joined here by Jason Cassity. Jason, how are we doing?
What's up? We're doing great. Back home in the office, dialed in, got my camera, got my mic, feeling good. Great panel. I'm excited for this one. Going to be a banger episode.
Well, I'm excited too because we have two very special guests. First, we have a BAM favorite, the founder and CEO of Coffee and Contracts, the all-in-one marketing tool and community, Haley Daily Ingram.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
You know why we call her that, Jason? Because she's posting content daily.
That is, I love that. I'm going to change my name on Instagram to that.
Yeah, to Haley Daily Ingram. And next we have a brand new guest. She is the head of education and strategy at Coffee and Contracts. She's a columnist for Inman News.
Ooh.
That's what it says.
Did you know that before we brought her in?
Oh, I did. And the host, get this, Jason, of the Above Asking podcast.
No,
we have a lot of contention here at the very beginning.
That's not real, is it?
Oh, it is real. We have Alyssa Stalker. Alyssa, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Guilty, I guess.
So, obviously, Inman News.
Journalism.
Yeah, exactly. Alyssa, explain yourself. Inman News.
This is all off the record today.
Correct. Inman News, rival media company. That's okay. You know, this is a big tent. We like to bring everybody in. And I actually had a podcast with Matt Leonetti called the Over Ask podcast, which is close to the Above Ask podcast. So that's why I started off like that. But that is pretty cool. Do you talk real estate marketing on that podcast?
Yeah, primarily real estate marketing, branding, content, all the things.
Awesome. Well, I would love to be a guest, and so would Jason.
I'd love to have you guys.
Awesome. Let's
do
it.
Well, we get ourselves invited in as we just bombard people
Exactly.
on our show.
Exactly.
Like, cool. So what date and time works? I've got November 26th. No? Good? Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. November 26th, we will be on the Above Asking podcast. Today, we're going to cover some very important topics. We're going to cover how to use ChatGPT to improve your content, the content hacks that we all use. Then we're going to get into the most common social media problems we see agents having in our communities and how to solve them. Then we're going to test content before you post it or how to do that. Then the most common trends. We might even sprinkle in, Haley, some Thanksgiving November content ideas. Ooh. So if you like the sound of that, throw this video a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, ChatGPT hacks. Jason, some of our best content has been when you just go over what's going on with ChatGPT, but I do want to start with the panel. Haley Ingram, I will start with you. In terms of ChatGPT, how are you using it to either improve content or search for content ideas?
I feel like I'm not using ChatGPT as well as I should. I think I have a lot of ambitions for what I want to use ChatGPT for. I'd like to load it with all of my knowledge and everything I've posted over the years so I could easily get content that I've already posted and have it really sound like me. But I haven't done that. So right now, what I use it for is mostly like kind of brainstorming back and forth and like concepting ideas. So I do a lot of that, but I'm gonna take the advice on the panel on this one. I don't have that many good tips on this one.
Perfect. I'm glad I started with you. Well, no, we could. Here's the thing: we could actually piggyback off of that, Jason, because she made a great point about you should upload all of your content 100%. So that ChatGPT understands who you are. Do you know how you would do that from like an Instagram perspective?
Twofold. I would do it in your custom like GPT or a project and then you can just tell it, hey, here's my Instagram, https://www.instagram/ whatever your handle is. Be like, review my posts, tell me what my brand is saying about me, analyze my top 5 performing posts, and then give me 5 more posts like it. But have some sort of thing in your custom GPT, in your instructions so it knows who you are. And you could even do this. I've done this now with like my competitors or like 10 other accounts that I want it to follow. And you can just put the URLs on like a Google sheet and just be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you could reference it and just say in the instructions to your custom GPT, just say, reference my social media competitors' accounts and then tell me what they're doing that's successful, or something along those lines, where it knows how to source like other people's stuff too.
Interesting.
Very smart. See, that's why we have the podcast, Haley, so we could learn from each other here. So your question set that up perfectly for us.
I
So
know.
good
I,
job
that's
with
what
that.
I said. You have to learn from each other. So I said, for this one, would love to hear some insights.
Exactly. Alyssa,
Yeah,
first question for you on the walkthrough in history. ChatGPT, I was going through your Instagram content and you had a great prompt idea for agents kind of revolving around how to make their brand sound different than other agents. If you want to break that down, or however you use ChatGPT to improve content.
Yeah, well, just to kind of piggyback on what Haley said, I don't think she realizes how genius that is, because she makes her GPT like her on steroids, so she could output more and make it sound exactly like her. I love to take it back even further and zoom out. I think a lot of agents struggle with their personal brand. Like, they haven't done the work to determine what exactly that is. And when you talk to agents, you're like, what's your personal brand about? They'll go to default of like things that they're interested in, like, oh, I like wine, or I like coffee, I like dogs. But how do you like weave that into your content story and really make your content stand out as you? My favorite thing is when you see someone on Instagram and they're so recognizable that you don't even need to see the name of who posted it, because their personal brand is so well developed. So sorry, my cat is like participating. My favorite prompts are like, act as a personal brand coach, ask me 10 questions that can help me develop my personal brand to reach X goal, which could be attract more clients on Instagram or whatever it is. And it'll pump out some really interesting, thought-provoking questions that will really make you dig deeper into what your personal brand is. So then when you approach content, you're approaching it from this brand lens instead of just like topics. And I think that's really helpful, especially, when you're using a content membership like Coffee and Contracts. First of all, our captions are written by humans, which I think that's something that people are kind of becoming hip to. Like, all I'm reading is AI. It's getting very boring. It's lacking personality. So I feel like now more than ever, it's time to use AI truly as a tool rather than doing stuff for you. So then you can approach those human written captions like with your own brand lens.
That's a really good idea. So you say you type in act as my personal brand coach.
Yeah, and ask me 10 questions as a real estate agent who's looking to attract more clients on Instagram. Or you can even niche it down further to like your market, the type of clients you want to serve, if you want to focus on relocation, things like that.
Very smart. All right. So that's a tactical takeaway right there. Just type in ChatGPT, act as my personal brand coach. Jason, what about you? What do you got going for ChatGPT?
Alyssa just nailed that. So I was going to mention like almost like the pitfall that people do is they use ChatGPT or Gemini or something to give them the what to say, and then they just copy and paste it over. And so the problem is like now, and I see it all over Facebook right now, especially with like, I don't want to say this, but with like the boomer crowd who's just learning how to use like ChatGPT. And shout out to them, by the way. Like they're embracing AI and ChatGPT more than like anybody else has. Like we're using it too, but they're just copy and pasting it. Millennials do it too. I don't mean to say it like that, but like people who just copy paste their captions, and you can immediately tell it's like, dude, I don't want to just read AI. This isn't some groundbreaking thing that you just came up with. There's no personality there. You're just copy pasting. We see it with the bullet points. We see it with the M dashes. We can tell when it's ChatGPT, right? So like if you're doing that where you're saying, hey, give me the ideas, take the base frame of the idea and then put your own spin, write your own caption based on the idea, but don't copy paste the text over. We can read through it already. Secondarily, what I think Coffee and Contracts does a great job of is like adding the trend in. So you could go to ChatGPT and say, hey, give me 7 different social media posts. And it's going to say, here, do your 3 favorite coffee shops. But instead of just doing the video of my 3 favorite coffee shops, I'm going to be doing it with the trend like Coffee and Contracts, as it's like POV, you just moved to San Diego and you would get to explore these 3 coffee shops every day or something like that. That's what Coffee and Contracts does really well, is they put like the human spin on the ChatGPT output. And so that's what I would really encourage is like, if you're using social and ChatGPT, use it for the idea, but then humanize it both in the caption and then how in the media content too, whether it be some sort of a trending thing or some sort, put your video on it with the text over the top, as opposed to just copy pasting the caption. So just be really mindful of not copy pasting, because I think we're all starting to read right through that, and nobody wants to read a bunch of ChatGPT AI captions.
Yeah, it feels like segmented when you're reading like an elongated ChatGPT caption or post. It's like you could tell that the hook was written by ChatGPT. It still has the M dashes. And I'm doing this. Tom Tool does a lot of tweets for us, and sometimes I could tell when one is very ChatGPT'd because I see the M dashes.
Yeah.
And I see the way it's like formatted. And then I'll say like, hey, humanize this a little bit more. I'll tell him to do that. And then he puts his own spin on it. And then it's 10 times better. Not to throw Tom Tool under the bus, but I
don't mind it. Like I
tell.
get that we're in this like transitionary phase where we're relying on AI to do a lot of our stuff right now. This is very first inning type stuff for AI. And so like I see people who never posted before all of a sudden posting every single day because they probably have their VA just ChatGPTing it and then just copy pasting. I actually respect the hustle. I'm just saying like you can do it a little bit better by not copy pasting. Just I would actually rather you say whatever it is in the camera. You know what I mean? Like read the script and then post that as like a reel versus just copy pasting the text over.
Yeah. One of the best things too, I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast before, but I saw Gary Vee do this, and you just do the voice to ChatGPT and you could really provide so much context. You're like, I'm a real estate agent in Tucson, Arizona. I'm 35 years old. My target demo is first-time home buyers. I love golf. Give me 5 content ideas based off of this, right? Like the more you contextualize, the more specific it's going to be.
Now there's plugins too. Canva has one of the first 7 plugins, I believe, right? Where you can connect your Canva to your ChatGPT. And then so with your Canva, you hopefully have your brand colors, brand assets, fonts, all that type of stuff like in the brand kit part of Canva. So then you can actually start to have it like make stuff for you, like make posts and graphic design based on all your stuff that you already have pre-laid in. So it's starting to get better and better, but it has to know who you are first, so it can run with it. But yeah, I put on the voice mode a lot, like even while I'm driving. But like, hey, I have this idea for a listing video. I can't pull it together. Here's the concept, but I can't piece in how I would transition from 1 to 2, and it'll just spit back, like brainstorm with you, and it's fantastic.
I use it for email subjects and YouTube titles. That's my primary use for it right now. Obviously, like brainstorming content ideas and helping me edit blogs, but I like to give me 5 YouTube titles for this, for example, that are going to get the most clicks that explain exactly what's going on. Or if it's an email subject, I'll say, give me an email subject that's 40 characters or less with 1 emoji that's going to get the most opens by real estate agents who want to learn about marketing real estate news. So always like qualifying who your audience is. And then it'll give me 5 or 6. You kind of pick the best ones. Super simple. So there are your ChatGPT hacks. Let us know in the comments if you have any other ways that you are using ChatGPT. Let's get into testing content. A lot of agents ask this to us in our community, or I hear it at masterminds and stuff where they're saying, how do you validate an idea, or how do you know about something before you post it? And Haley, I'll start with you, because whether it's agents that you see doing it in Coffee and Contracts or you for your own content, do you test content ever before you post it, or are you just kind of winging it?
Most of the time I'm winging it. I know what people are talking about though, when you have an idea and you're not sure if it's going to land, especially if it's something that's like you're trying to be funny or relatable, or if you're being vulnerable. So in that case, what I've done in the past is run it by someone that I trust, or multiple people that I trust and that I know would say like, it's not funny. Or that's not going to land. You should change this. But what I've also done is just post it somewhere a little less vulnerable feeling. So in your stories, sharing it in your stories, sharing it as a thread, sharing it in your email newsletter, or if you have like a community, like an Instagram channel or like a Facebook community, sharing it somewhere a little like less pressure first and seeing how it does, and then repurposing it for the feed.
Yes, that's a great idea. And that leads me to my point, actually. So I had a brainstorm session with Sharon's content guy, this guy named Jairus, who helps Sharon with all of his content. And they validate, obviously agents can't do this because we're not mass producing 300 pieces of content per day or talking on podcasts all the time. But they validate every post before they actually make it into an Instagram post. So they test everything on Twitter and Threads. And I've been saying for years, not years, but over a year probably, that Threads is pretty much dead because I don't use it. So it's very selfish reasoning, but I never use it as a pace to publish content because I'm like, this is not going to help me grow. But I will like to use it now as a testing ground, as I've used Twitter in the past to like try a different concept. So if I'm giving out marketing advice or I'm trying to do something funny and it lands on Threads, that's a signal to me that I could actually create that into an Instagram post. So I think just like you said, testing content on other platforms that you maybe don't have as large an audience, and then waiting to move it over to Instagram once that content is validated. Another way to do it. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say too, like, I think for a lot of the agents that I talk to, I also want them to remember that like they can look at just posting is testing enough. Like a lot of times when you're posting every day, you're testing and learning from what's working and what's not working. So don't be afraid to post. But like, I think that's really a cool concept too, to post things on Threads that you're not sure if it's going to land and then kind of experiment with it.
Definitely. Alyssa, what about you? Are you ever testing content, or with any of the clients you have, do you recommend anything?
Yeah, I've done like trial reels and stuff. I know that's really popular now. And now I'm starting to see people like, by the way, this was a trial reel. If you want to see more of my content, be sure to follow me. And they're kind of growing audience that way. Like they'll pin that as like the top content comment. But I kind of agree with Haley on this. I try to get agents in the mindset because I feel like, especially agents who are newer to posting on social media, they do feel vulnerable, and they do. We just did a class on this yesterday, actually, like building confidence with social media and confidence in your content. And I feel like the best way to build confidence is evidence, and it's all in practice. So just showing up and doing it. And I always try to get them in the mindset like no one's watching you like you think they are. And I do that to myself. I'm like, I'm not that important. Like if this post flops, it's not a big deal. It's information. It's data. So I need to just take that into account and do it differently next time. Don't be afraid to try things. And I think the more that you post, the more data you gather. So I agree with her on that for sure.
Yeah. So test content just in the feed. I think that's
essentially
great strategy.
Sorry.
And then
that's what I should have led with.
No. The way you described it was better. I was just saying like you could also use the feed, as you said, as data points. So if something did really well 3 months ago, 6 months ago, that's a concept that you want to recycle again. Jason and I always talk about this. Yeah. If it's a tweet that did well, make it a Facebook post. If it's a carousel, turn that into a reel. Basically post everything again every 6 months until your audience is sick.
And that becomes like your core content. You don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. In fact, marketing tells us that we need to repeat the same message multiple times. I think it's like on average 7 times for it to like actually land with someone. So repeating yourself and repackaging, if it works for you, is probably one of the best strategies there is.
Definitely.
I was just listening to a podcast this morning of Gary Vee, and he was talking about how he's like not recording any new content, or he realized at a certain point that he doesn't need to record new content. They just need to repurpose and recut up everything that he's created over the years. I thought that was super interesting because I was like, he's like, I'm going to be saying the same thing over and over again until the day I die. So nothing is changing.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think, the Sharon and Byron too. He's filmed so many podcasts that we're going through his podcast now and going through and saying, okay, that's a tweet. Let's put that up on Twitter. If that does well, that becomes an Instagram post. But a lot of agents, of course, aren't doing hours of podcasting and stuff. So you kind of have to build up that bank. And then once you have that bank, it does become easier to create content. Jason, you are the winner of the listing video of the year, by the way, at Real Brokerage, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that a precursor to the Bammies? Do you think I'm going to take it down from Matt this year? We have a battle brewing.
You might. The Bammies, our award show, December 12th. Make sure.
Do you want to know when at Real Rise last week or 2 weeks ago, I did win listing video of the year. Shout out to the Real team, and Matt was second. And so of course the first thing I did was text Matt and say suck it. And so it's a precursor though, because the Bammies is the one I'm really eyeing. It's the reason I dropped $2,500 on these videos to make sure that they hit.
I'm going to ask Matt to co-host the Bammies too. He'll be so pissed.
Absolutely, he can't co-host. Then he's going to be able to rig the vote coming into it. He's going to be like, "Hey guys, vote for this one." Da, da, da.
He probably would actually, but he's got
to step away during the listing video part.
So my point was with that. Do you ever test anything before you launch it, or you just kind of?
Absolutely not. What do you?
Okay,
You
perfect.
know this answer.
I know
Like, I
that.
don't
Look,
do.
I'm just
I
going
don't.
around the panel. I already knew the answer to that.
But you have two marketers here, and then you have an agent, so that's actually a really good contrast because like I don't
Yes.
have. I'm not posting enough content to test and A/B test and stuff like that. Like if I post, I'm happy just that I got the post out. So I'm definitely not now. What I do see and I observe is like through TikTok and Twitter mostly is I see what's working on other platforms and then I'll try to repurpose it over. So like I almost just like let other people do the testing because it's like I can see like on Twitter you'll see a lot of business stuff. Like right now there's a lot of smart people kind of debating the 50-year mortgage and the portable mortgages and stuff like that on Twitter. And then it's like, oh, hey, this is actually a really good conversation. How can I bring this over to Instagram and then reframe it? And then secondarily on TikTok, you'll see trends 2 weeks, 3 weeks ahead of Instagram. So you can kind of see like, hey, this is the trending song. This is the trending like delivery platform of it. How do I put this over on Instagram? So I do consume other content on other platforms, but I don't put out enough content to be testing at this point. I just, if I've already put it out, I've already tested it somewhere else or seen it be tested. So obviously it's good, Eric. I don't need to A/B test it.
All right. Well, you're right. Look, you're the video of the year over here. Okay, so I got no grand to stand
Great
on.
video, by the way. I cried.
Thank you. That was a good one. I was happy with that one.
Yeah, maybe we'll play it again at the end of this.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Just a little refresher.
This video of the year.
Yeah,
I'm coming for you, Matt.
that's right. He's coming for you. By the way, you mentioned TikTok. Breaking news on TikTok. Mini chat, I believe, is now enabled with TikTok. So a lot of people who just post on TikTok and are saying, well, I don't really get leads from it, or I don't, upload lead magnets or have any call to actions. It's just mostly for the content. Now you could actually DM directly from a mini chat. Is that correct? Or am I just pulling this out of my ass?
Correct.
You're right. Yeah. I think it broke like earlier this week or late last week or something like that.
Yeah. So there you go. Don't sleep on TikTok, folks. It's still around, doing.
I'm interested to see
ever.
how to, like change the app, not to get too into the weeds, but I feel like TikTok is super like not salesy, businessy now, and Instagram very much is, and it's very like organic over there. I feel like the TikTok audience to me feels like they're going to be annoyed by any sort of automation. I'm still going to try it for sure, but I'm curious to see how it plays out.
You're right. TikTok is just such a scroll first platform. Just next video. Go ahead, Alyssa.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be interesting because it's really been a shopping platform, and a lot of the creators on there outside of the real estate space, I mean, you're constantly, I don't know, maybe it's just my algorithm. I'm constantly being sold a jacket or like a workout outfit or skincare. And so I feel like TikTok Shop has been a huge like revenue driver for the platform. So I'm almost surprised. Like I always felt like the reason they never integrated with ManyChat was because they thrive as a shopping app. So if they're taking some of that traffic out of the app now with wherever you want to direct it, I find that really interesting. So I wonder if we'll start to see less like shopping in our algorithm.
Yeah, that's a good point. The TikTok Shop is getting pushed in my algorithm too.
It's just us.
Yeah.
Not ours, Jason. Not ours.
Not mine. But I know what you mean. Like the Instagram bans you for linking out.
Being victimized by TikTok Shop every day.
But yeah, now if you're saying DM me the word X to go to my shop instead of doing it through TikTok Shop, you would think that they would then just throttle that back, kind of like Instagram does when you link out, you get throttled a little bit, right? So like I wonder if they'll have like a mechanism for that.
Yeah. Well, I used to use TikTok for agent content specifically. Like when I was selling real estate, I kept my audience on Instagram for real estate, and then I talked to agents on TikTok because that for me, that was just what felt right to separate the audiences. But it's a struggle, like if you have digital products or courses, to get people to like click the link in bio to purchase. But I think you'll start to see maybe an uptick of coaches and creators able to actually perform higher. For me, it worked well because I was able to like build community and get people back to like other things, but I couldn't it was harder for like digital product sales. But I think for agents, it's going to be great because they'll be able to use all of those like listing lead generators and things like that, comment listing or this, because a lot of them are showing listing content primarily. Like that's what's performing really well is like local content. And then also like showcasing their listings. I see tons of home footage on TikTok versus on Instagram.
Bailey Dixon, who we had on a few weeks ago. People love that episode, by the way. So he's an agent that goes live on TikTok every Monday through Thursday at the same time. You guys should have him in Coffee and Contracts for a training. It was just cool the way he goes about it. He has like a green screen behind him of just a house, and it's just ask me anything about the California real estate market.
Ooh,
and
cool.
I asked him, like, how do you get leads from that? And he'll tell people to actively DM him. But now with mini chat, just like on Instagram, I'm sure you could say, just comment the word California and I'll just send you my Calendly link to like set up a call or something like that. So
Really cool.
keep an eye out for that, everybody. All right, let's get into the most frequently asked questions in our communities. So in BMX, we do office hours, and Coffee and Contracts, you guys do office hours. Jason, you are speaking at an event seemingly every other day. So I'm assuming you're getting a lot of Q&A. Haley, I'll start with you. Is there anything specific that agents keep asking right now that is a question that we can answer? Are they asking about hashtags or what? Like what's kind of the main pain point that agents have right now?
So there is like a lot of the questions about like the smaller questions of quick fixes that we can give quick answers to, like do hashtags matter? What video editing app do you use? Those types of things. But then I think like the biggest pain points that our members seem to face is number one, they struggle to stay consistent. They'll go through streaks of doing really well in their marketing, and then they kind of fall off of it for a while, and they just feel like they can't really stay consistent. And then the second part of that is that they aren't seeing the results that they want to when they're posting on social media. Their posts are flopping, they're not growing, they're not getting engagement. So those are the two biggest pain points that people are facing.
Any solutions for consistency, Alyssa or Haley?
Sorry. Alyssa can go.
Okay. Well, you were going with something good. I know it. I'd hate to cut you off. Why don't you finish your thought?
Okay. Yeah. So I was going to say that consistency, I think, is a tough one for everyone, obviously. Consistency is something that I think you have to kind of practice. And one of the things that we like to tell agents to do is to time block, obviously. Block off, an hour or so at the beginning of the week to plan and create the content for the week. Whatever that looks like for you, that could be time blocking 15 minutes a day to make sure you throw something up. It could be time blocking an hour at the beginning of the week or time blocking once a month, however you work best. I personally like to do it every week. I like to kind of plan our content on a week by week basis. So I kind of have a pulse on what's working and what people are kind of talking about in the zeitgeist. So time blocking would be my advice for staying consistent.
Alyssa?
Yeah, I think you do need to determine like what kind of creator you are and what timing works for you. Like Haley said, are you someone who likes to pre-batch things a month at a time? I feel like we're getting away from that more as being something that's most effective, because especially lately in real estate, things are changing a lot. There's a lot of news surfacing. So I think in order to stay timely and like on the pulse of what's happening, you probably want to check in with your content plan on a weekly basis. But some people are more spontaneous, like they just need that framework and they want to do it every single day. For me, I say like, look at what your goals are. If you want social media to be your number one lead source, you need to treat it like one. Like as if you were going to use cold calling, you wouldn't have much success making only 5 calls a day. So you need to put whatever time into it to get those results out of it. So knowing that, I think you just have to make consistency a non-negotiable. Like there's not like a softer way to say that really. But at the same time, I feel like showing up is better than not. So finding that rhythm that works for you.
Yeah. The more posts, the more reach you have. Like there's a direct correlation. I've
Absolutely.
seen this for years on Broke Agent or BAM. If I post once a week, I know some people say like, oh, if I post once a week, I get more engagement on that specific post. But if I'm posting 14 times a week, I'm giving 14 different opportunities for the algorithm to push that content.
Yeah.
And Jason, for you, any questions that like you're hearing at any of these real events or that you're being lobbed on your speaking gigs?
Not particularly questions per se. One kind of common theme, because I think the last couple of years has been a tougher market for a lot of people. One common theme that I get, especially when it comes to like social media and stuff like that, is questions about like it's not working yet, right? Like I haven't gotten any deals from it. Maybe I've had a post go viral or something like that. And I always just kind of say, you can't compare your year 3 to someone else's year 15. You know what I mean? And so like there are times where the people who get glory and glorified on social are the ones who are doing the most business, because that's kind of just how it works, right? And so you have a lot of times the Matt Leonettis and the Shane Bergmans, and you know what I mean? Just like people who are selling a house. Well, it's a lot easier for me to put out sick listing videos because it's a $3 million listing. But I also have $3 million listings because I've been doing it for 13 years, and they bought and sold with me 3 times, and we've just gotten up to that level. So you can't compare your second year in the business. I've been doing this, everything that Coffee and Contract says. I've been doing everything Broke Agent says for 2 years, and I don't have the clients and I don't have the business yet. And there is a level of like, don't compare your year 2 to someone else's year 15. Right. And so like this has been the toughest, I think statistically in San Diego, the toughest 2-year span in the history of the MLS, like most sales closed divided by number of agents. And so like there is a level of like just keep going. Like it's a hockey stick. It doesn't happen in year 1 or 2. You may have a pop and get a viral video, or you may have a pop and you get a listing off of something. But usually what happens is it's like year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's tough to say that when you're in year 1, 2, 3, is just put your head down and like keep going. It will pop off if you do it the right way consistently for years. But it also can't just be social. You have to mix in the networking events and the kissing babies and shaking hands and going to all the different things that everybody else has to do through the first 5 years. So I would just say like, don't get discouraged that if you're doing all the things that everybody's telling you to, that it's not happening yet. Sometimes it just takes time. And this has been the toughest 2-year run in the history of our MLS here in San Diego. So just keep it up, because once the housing market starts to pop a little bit, it'll be those who have laid this foundation over the last 3 years that are going to find success.
A little motivation here from
Flip
the
that.
crew.
Yeah.
Flip that immediately. Sometimes that's what people need to hear. It doesn't always have to be tactical, and that is tactical in itself, and the fact that it takes a long ass time. And by the way, when people say I'm just not getting like leads directly from social, most people aren't just posting something and then getting a DM immediately saying, "Oh my God, come list my house." Right? It's like, oh, I saw Alyssa post 3 weeks ago. Now I'm thinking about buying a house. You know, she's been showing up consistently. I'm going to reach out to her. And it's not even directly from a social post. It's just because she's been showing up in your head every single day, right? Like that's where the actual results come from. It's hard to have a direct, like tangible correlation, but that's where it comes from.
And you can't, and that's why hyperlocal works, and that's why like stuff with your kids works, and what you call the off-speed pitches work, is because again, it's an 8-year sales cycle. So for 7 years and 9 months, nobody cares about interest rates and inventory levels and their house price. They care about you and the back behind the scenes and your hyperlocal stuff, like, you know, the new Chick-fil-A and the new Costco and that type of stuff, because that's what's relevant to them for 7 years and 9 months. The problem is you don't know where they're at in their sales cycle at any given time. So you have to put out off-speed pitches, stuff with your kids, going to drink, going to the baseball game, going to all the extra stuff matters too. So it's not just the real estate stuff that matters, because that only matters if they're thinking about buying or selling right in that moment, which we know is like an 8-year sales cycle.
Yeah. I think it's the other stuff that actually matters more, because it's like who you are and why they want to work with you over anyone else. There's a lot of real estate agents out there that get great results. There's a lot that don't, but there are a lot that do. And what's that differentiator of why they choose to work with you? It's who you are. And so when you show people that's your personal brand coming through, and that takes time to develop rapport.
If you listen to this marketing advice on this podcast, you will stand out from the crowd. And if you are an agent looking to stand out from the crowd, Reminder Media is a resource you have to check out. You get your own branded print and digital magazines, email newsletters, and social media content. Reminder delivers these resources to your contacts on autopilot, keeping you top of mind with your database. All you got to do is focus on your follow-up calls and watch referrals and repeat business come in. Use the link below to check out Reminder Media. And Haley, you mentioned at the beginning that a lot of questions you get asked are kind of the smaller tactical ones, like hashtags, time to post. None of that stuff matters, Like that's your answer to that. It does not matter. Like you could have 50 hashtags that are perfect. You could post at the perfect time, but if the content sucks, that doesn't work. So if you post a just listed template at 7:15 versus 7:45 when all your audience is on their phone, it's still going to get no engagement. So a lot of agents are so hyper focused on what time should I post? Should I have a business and a personal account? Should I use audios? What editing app should I use? It's like just focus on creating good content. Clip it. All right.
Clip that.
Clip that. Final topic. Let's get into little trends in November content ideas. Thanksgiving's around the corner, right? Haley, you keep snapping.
I want to clap or it's hard not to be like.
It's what the Gen Zers do now instead of clapping.
We've been saying that a lot. Like in our calls, we've been snapping with our tweets.
I like it. It's giving me motivation to like get through each topic because Haley's just like this at the end of each one.
It's like you're at a spoken word event, you know what I mean? And they just do the snaps.
Just for saying November content ideas.
Amen. It's hard. I have to hold back.
All right. Well, this is the reason why everyone's here. It's for content ideas, right? So it's November. What day is it? It's November 13th. We got 2 weeks. That doesn't mean you need to wait 2 weeks to start posting about Thanksgiving or what you're thankful for, right? So, Jason, I'll start with you this time. What do you got coming in the next 2 weeks, Thanksgiving wise? Anything hyper local? Are you going to do a thankful post about how thankful you are for me and for spearheading your social growth?
This guy. So I'll tell you this. I actually, you're going to love this, wrote down some ideas. Okay. So
no way.
So Eric likes the clown because I never have the holiday ideas. I'm like, I don't know, just post a house. But okay, ready? So what I'm thankful for, obviously, like that's the go.
Wait. Yes, the go-to. But let me dive into that. Are you going to post like thankful for like I'm thankful for my kids, my wife, or are you going to do like I'm thankful for my clients, what's your route with that?
No, I think I would actually on that one because I've done the what I'm thankful for like a professional reel where it was like I'm thankful for my family and stuff like that, and that's fine. But I think that if you can take it to like a funny angle and then it's like what I'm actually thankful for, you know what I mean? And it's like that Taco Bell's open on my drive home at 2 a.m. or, you know, some version of that. Black Friday deals or some sort of like play on Black Friday because that's just as important as Thanksgiving in this one. Thanksgiving food rankings. I wrote that down. I think that's always easy, low hanging fruit fodder. And then there's like the family invasion survival guide where you can break down exactly how to set up your house for having multiple family members over and how to survive that. That is actually what I wrote down for Thanksgiving content. It's also my birthday on Thanksgiving. So
on Thanksgiving. Wow.
This year it's the day after because it rotates every 6 years or whatever. But yeah, so there you go.
Happy birthday.
40th.
Happy birthday, Jason post, everyone.
Happy birthday. Yeah, actually, I want to see your 40th birthday posts for me, Eric, actually is what I would like to see.
I'll do it on the Brocade and I'll do a dedicated video just for you.
Oh, great. Let's see what that looks like.
Yeah. Haley.
So we have a really cute one in November at Coffee and Contracts that I love, and you can kind of put a different spin on it, but it was if state, whatever. So like if Florida cities showed up to Friendsgiving, here's what they'd bring. So you can use the help of your robot friend ChatGPT to say, what would the Florida cities bring to Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving? You could do this for neighborhoods. You could do this for different things in your area that would be funny. And this one I like because it's something that people may want to share on their stories or with a friend because they find it funny and relatable. So I know Alyssa has some ideas to share, but that's a fun one that I wanted to
That's
throw.
really good. That'll get a ton of shares. Anytime you do like ChatGPT of what this person in West Hollywood versus Brentwood looks like or something like that, those always do really well.
Yeah.
Alyssa?
Like that's like super shareable. So that'll perform well. I also came prepared with a couple of ideas. There was this trend you guys may have seen that was like born to, forced to, like born to be a trophy wife, forced to sell real estate or something like that. So I thought of doing like a take on that, like grateful to, required to, and it's kind of like a funny one. So it's like grateful to serve clients, required to explain interest rates at every family dinner, grateful to help people move homes, required to defend the market to my uncle who reads articles, grateful to close deals, required to pretend I'm off this week, stuff like that. And then I had another one that was like kind of more on the emotional note, me thinking about how grateful I am to get to do what I love, even on the hard days, for the clients who trust me with their biggest moves, for every referral that changed the trajectory of my year, for people cheering me on behind the scenes, stuff like that.
Love that. I
I
think those are really good. I think the sentimental thankful post, carousel style.
Yeah.
You know how it's like a picture of you and then it's the user generated captions
Yes.
are performing the best. I think it's kind of hard to film a reel of saying like,
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
so
I should have
thankful for
prefaced. Both of those were carousels.
carousels. Okay.
Yeah.
that makes
Well,
sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can if you do it in the right way. I can't ever picture myself saying like, "Oh, I'm so thankful for my wife. I'm so thankful for Jason Cassity. I'm so thankful for like that." Just,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not my style. But all right, what is it like to shop for homes over the holidays? That's a more tactical agent one. Rank your favorite Thanksgiving foods. Jason already said that. If you have listings with epic dining rooms, how about that? You could say, these are my listings that would hold the best Thanksgiving feast. So you're tying in a little real estate there. Genius. Yeah. All right. Those are the Thanksgiving content ideas. Let us know in the comments what you think of those. And any final words here from the crew? Jason, anything you want to say? Any final tactical tips here in November?
No, not particularly. I think I tell my team this. It's like your quarter one, your 2026 is born on January 1st, but it's conceived in November. So like get to your business planning. If you haven't already started, start thinking about what it is that worked in 2025 and what you're going to do more of in 2026. So jump into that business plan. It's about that time.
And if you want to conceive your business plan, you could conceive it with Sharon and Byron next Wednesday on a webinar.
On BAMX.
A one-page business plan webinar. Sharon is hosting this. There's a link down in the description. You don't want to miss this. He just posted another cartoon. Crushing, by the way. It's absolutely crushing. He used chat, but he didn't do the response. So maybe there's a reason not to do the response.
Maybe forgot to set it up. I've done that.
That's also possible. No, they would never. Alyssa, anything trending? Anything you want to say? This is your moment on the mic. You could say anything you want to a crowd of 10,000 people right now. This is it.
No, I was just going to say it's a super noisy time of year on social media. There's a lot of brands that are competing for eyeballs and, lots of content going out, especially around like Black Friday and stuff. So if you are someone who has like struggled with consistency and you want to get serious about social media, it's a great time to play. There's a lot of distraction out there, so it's a good time to test, really. And yeah, I think it's a good time to just lay that foundation, like Jason said. So just start posting.
That's it. That was a great thing to say right there. I kind of put you on the spot, but that was actually very profound. And it is, by the way, engagement, I do predict, will be horrible probably for the next month or so, because there's just going to be so much, just like you said, so many brands, Black Friday, every agent's going to be jumping on all these Thanksgiving trends now. So Haley, what about you? 30 seconds. Can you say something that is unbelievably profound that we could clip and turn into the hook for this video?
The future of the podcast depends on it.
Yes. You guys know how well I do under pressure. No, I was just going to say that I think I see a lot of people just feeling really overwhelmed, and like, I think that's where a lot of that overthinking and asking the questions about the hashtags and when to post, and they're just like overthinking so much. So for those people, anyone who's feeling overwhelmed, I would just say, just post something a day, take it one post at a time, and just have fun with it and experiment. So don't take it too seriously.
Don't take it too seriously. We certainly don't take ourselves too seriously here. Make sure you go follow Jason Cassity, because he is the winner of the best listing video of the world of the year.
Of the world,
according to Real Brokerage. But we will put that to the test at the Bammies. Matt Leonetti, you are up. Everybody, go follow Alyssa Stalker right now. We will see you on the Above Asking podcast on what day do we say, Jason?
November 26th.
November 26th.
I think that's actually Thanksgiving, so it might be Thanksgiving. So it might be the 25th.
No other way I'd rather spend it than on your podcast, Alyssa. No, but go follow Alyssa Stalker for great real estate marketing tips. Go follow Haley Ingram, Coffee and Contracts. Check them out. Everybody, we will see you next week on The Walkthrough.